Hey everyone, so we finished row 18, going to row 19. Just trying to note it down because I seem to forget my numbers. Coming back in with the orange. Now I'm going to do the leaves for these flowers where we have the popcorn stitch. I'm going to start here. Right after my marker, I'm doing a single, one, two, coming back in, doing double crochet, 4 double crochets. We're going to be working inside of these 3 chain. Four double crochets. Okay, I'm going to roll twice on my hook. Move this a little bit forward. I'm going to come in where we have that front post double crochet, and I'm going to do a triple, and I'm going to hold it on my thread and complete. I'm going to come in the next one, the front post. I have to roll twice on the hook, sorry. Twice. Grab that front post, take out 2, take out 2, and the last 2. And then I'm coming in and doing those 4 double crochets. Obviously, I will complete the other one here when I come around to it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to do 2 triples on here, but I'm going to do a picot in between them. So take out 2, take out 2, so I have my first triple, 1. I'm going to do 2 chain only, but you can do a 3 chain if your thread is thinner than mine. And I'm going to do another triple in here inside of that popcorn stitch. 1, take out 2, and take out the last 2. Then I'm coming on that 3 chain and doing 4 double crochets. Triple again, coming in that front post double crochet, pulling it through, take out 2, take out 2, and complete, and coming into the next one. And this is how we're going to proceed all the way around. Take out 2, take out 2, and take out 3. Coming into that 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Triple in the center of that popcorn. Take out 2, take out 2, and the last 2, chain 2 or 3, chain 3 for some of you, okay? Coming back in with triple, keep banging into my camera with the hook, how nice. And then coming on that 3 chain and doing 4 double crochet. 2, 3, and 4. roll again, incomplete triple, take out 2, take out 2, going into the next one, and repeat the same thing. Take out 2, take out 2, and now take out the last 3, okay? And then come in your 3 chain to do the 4 double crochets. So nothing to it. I'm going to continue mine to proceed this way, and then meet you at the end of my row, okay? Much finished the row 19, going to row 20, okay? So I'm coming back in with the cream color. Look how gorgeous this is, right? We're going to work on the back part only. We're going to be doing chains of 5. So I'm going to start more or less where I have my marker for these sides, okay? Let me just check here if I'm on the right side to make sure. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start here after the marker. It doesn't really matter, but at this point I like to start where I finished off so I can know what I'm doing here, okay? So I'm going to come in where we have that single there in between the leaves of the flowers, okay? And I'm going to come in and do a single. So we're always going to do a single in between the flowers and also behind where we did the triple, okay? So we'll be grabbing these 4 things and do a single and continue to do chain 5. We have to create loops back here, okay? So single, try to see if I can hide this thread a little bit. It's kind of hard because it's a very thick thread. 1, 2, 3, 4. So because it's the first one, I'm only going to do 4. And see, I will do 5 on the other ones because I don't want it to be the first one, because we do that single has a tendency to always be bigger than anything else. So it's always good that you go a chain less. So I'm doing the single here. Okay, so I've done a 4, but you can do a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. And then you're going to come behind, and we have that single there. Just go in it and do that single, okay? Now, if you find that it's too loose, your chain, you can do a chain 4 only. 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if I find that it's a little bit too loose, we don't want it to be too loose. So I'm probably going to do a 4. And then when it comes to the oval, maybe a 5, okay? I have to go accordingly what my thread asks for and my stitch also. So you must do the same thing. Not because sometimes I'll do a 5 chain that your stitch or your tension will be the same as mine. Okay, so chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And also because this is very thick thread, so everything becomes bigger automatically, right? So you'd come behind where we have the 4 loops back here. And I can't see anything because the camera is like in front of me. Try to grab a smaller hook here. See if I can pull through it because everything is like tight and I can't see anything. But I can't tighten it too much even though I'm going with a smaller hook, or else I'm going to have issues, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then come between where that single is between the leaves and do a single. 1, 2, 3, 4. And repeat the same thing, grabbing those 4 loops of the triple. Okay, I don't know why I grabbed it that way. And single. So we're going to have these loops like that. It's got to stay a nice straight line. We don't want it baggy, okay? So like I said, when I get the marker of the corners for the oval, If I need to do a 5 chain, then I will, because we don't want it to be pulling on the oval from marker to the other marker of the oval. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of this row 20. Okay, everybody, so we've pretty much completed all of the loops. So you know there's 2 loops per leaves, right? And then the single, 2 loops, singles. Now I have my markers over here. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Basically almost on the 8. But here's the thing. We need to do 14. We need to separate 14 loops. So where I have the marker 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Because it's 2 loops per leaf. And if I go up one more, because I want it to be more or less centered here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So if I do it here, it still comes out to the same thing. It seems like it's a little bit lower. So where I have my markers, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So I'm going to put my marker here. Because we're going to be working inside of those loops. And I'll explain to you in a second. You must do the same thing on the other side. So count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So I have marker and marker. So I've just done my marker on this side also, just to make sure. And I've lined up more or less how the other one is. So I put my marker here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, same thing as on that side. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 flowers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 flowers. Okay, now where we have the 14 loops, that means we're going to work on the 7 flowers. We're going to do 4 singles on the 4 singles on the 14 loops, and then the other ones will be 3 singles only on the sides. Okay, trying to get my thread here. So we're going to work only when we get to the oval. We'll be doing 4 singles. Okay, so I have my marker always on the checkpoint where we start, not the one from the oval. So I'm going to, so I've done a slip stitch. I'm going to come in. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. Into the next one. 1, 2, and 3. Into the next one. So we're going to keep doing that until the mark point of the oval. And then once we get to the oval, we're doing 14 loops of 4 singles on each loop. 4 singles, 4 singles, 4 singles, 14 times. That's all you have to do to this row 21. I have to write it down before I forget the rows. So row 21. Okay. 1, 2, on both sides will be 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Okay. I meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so I've closed in row 21 going into row 22. So I close in with a slip stitch. I've done 1 chain. I'm going to come back in the same stitch and do a single. So we have the first single of row 22. Where we have the 3 singles, we're going to continue with 3 singles, okay? And then we're going to come on this picot where we have the 2 threads, and we're going to slip stitch. Coming again where we have the 3 singles, 1 per stitch. We should have 6 now, 3 from this loop and 3 from the next loop. So I have 3, 4, 5, and 6. Coming in those 2 loops at the picot, slip stitch. Coming behind again, make sure you're not going into that same one of the of the slip stitch. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming behind, grabbing those 2 loops on the picot, slip stitch. Again, coming back here, doing the 3 singles. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Grabbing those 2 loops back here. We don't want only 1 loop because it pulls too much on the pattern, okay? And that's how it is. Always 6 singles in between, hook in with slip stitch. Now, when we get to the 14 that we did on the oval of 4, so you know there will be 8 singles, 4 from this one, 4 from this one, and slip stitch into the picot. Again, 8 slip stitch, 8 singles, slip stitch. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of row 22. It's just very simple as that, not more complicated than that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I want to make sure I grab all these strings or else it's not pretty. Oops, and it's slip stitch, not single. Okay, and then again, go back here and do your 3 singles on this loop and the 3 on this loop. So I'm going to continue mine, and then I'll meet you at the end of my row, and the flower stays nice and flat. Okay, everyone, so finished row 22, going into row 23. Yeah, my thread all jammed over here. So row 23. Okay, so we close in with slip stitch. I'm doing 1 chain, I'm coming back in that same stitch, single, my first, my second, and my third. So we're going to continue where we have the 6 singles to have 6 singles. Difference is this time we're coming here behind, and we're going to do a front post single. And then we're going to skip, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let me just recount again. So 1, 2, 3, and then into that one. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So after doing the 3, we're going to start counting. 1, we're going to skip the next one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we skip 1. This will be our second. After doing that single front post, my threads, if I don't catch them properly, they come apart. It's a lot of threading. 2. So we skipped a stitch. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Coming, doing that single front post, 1, skip a stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Front post, single, skip a stitch into the second one. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to continue to do that all the way around. Now, remembering here, it won't be any different. So you're going to skip that one stitch. We're going to do the front post, skip a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is still of the ovals here, sorry. So skipping a stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me just count if I didn't miss anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. By skipping this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we'll have the 8 also, of course, and skipping that first one. Okay. But I'll meet you there just to make sure that you guys are understood. So again, you just start counting again. Single front post, skip one stitch. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Okay, everyone, so I'm at my mark point, entering the oval. Now, on the oval, we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let me just make sure that we are okay here. So, this is where I have my marker. Okay. So we're entering that oval. Now, for 7 times here on the cream, we have to do not the 8, but 10 singles. In order for the next row, we're going to be doing loops of 5 chain, and we have to have the right amount. So I'm going to count from here now. 1, I'm not skipping any. 2, 3, 4, just bring this down like that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, coming behind, and 10. And then go back into the very first one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do one more here. 9. And coming, doing that front post, 10. Okay, so the good thing about this is you can increase or decrease whatever you want as you're doing your count. In case there's a mistake somewhere, there's no issue. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, front post, 10. So I've done 3 so far. 1, 2, 3. We need to do on 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which will be 1 right after my marker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my marker up over here so we know where we're at. Now you could do, you know, if you think that you need to do more on this one, like start from here to get a better grip of things instead of being so much to one side, right? You can start from here. Let me just see something here, people. 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. If I do 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at here where I change the marker from here to here, just to get more or less an idea of the oval, okay? So we need to do that 7 times and exactly the same thing on the other side. So coming right in, right behind that front post. So I have 1, 2. I'm not counting the front post. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do one more. 8, 9. I probably was shortage of doing those singles. So for that reason, I'm doing that increase right away to get those 10. I'm going to do that 7 times, and also the same thing on the other oval part, okay? And I'll come back to you at the end. Okay, everyone. So because I had to move my marker over, obviously this one here already was only 6 singles, remember? So I've done a single where we did on the same stitch where we did the front post. Now, of course, if you have to do it, you have to do it. We want to make sure we have the right amount in there. So I did a single on that front post that we did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the same stitch, 8, 9, because this was 6 singles only. So I can have the right amount of the 10, including that front post. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we did 7 motifs here on this side, and we'll do 7 on the other side also. Like I said, you need to go into that single front post, then you have to do what you have to do in order to get the right amount of these singles in there, okay? And then it goes back to normal, the 6, 1, 2, actually, I'm already counting, even though we counted that as a 10, but I'm counting 1, the same one, the front post, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then, of course, the front post, and then coming into the next one. So we're not working where that front post is. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put one more here because obviously I can see I'm missing 5 and 6. And then single. Or did I do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I overdid it because I forgot I was counting that front post. I don't know. Sometimes my mind, people, sorry. Okay, let's try that again. So front post, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. No, I didn't need an increase. I forgot that I was counting already from the front post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, until the mark point again, and then we need to add those 10 in there like we've done on this side. Okay, everyone. So closed in with slip stitch row 23. I'm on going on row 24. I'm going to come into the next one and I'm going to do single, single, and single. I'm going to do a 4 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for some of you, depending upon your tension in your thread, you might need it to do a 5 chain. I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3. I'm coming on the 4th. When I come back around, I'll finish the rest of my singles here. You have to have, if you want to make sure you're on the right path, 364 singles on the previous row. And we should have at the end 26 loops of 5 chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 singles. And we're going to repeat that all the way around the same way. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. Skip 1, 2, 3, go into the 4th. Single, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 1, 2, 3, go into the 4th. And repeat it this way all the way around. There is no mistake on getting it together. Now, if it comes to the point where you're arriving at the end and it's like you're missing 2, just add another stitch. It's not a biggie. Or you have only 2 and you don't have the 4, like the 3 to jump, just go into the 3rd. It's not a biggie. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of my row, creating 26 4 or 5 chain loops. Okay, everyone, so I'm almost at the end, and I can see that I'm going to be missing 6 singles. Okay, so I'm off by 6, which is no problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to add 2 on the same stitch. So that means I have already let me just go back a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And add it here on my 6th one. This is like 3 before closing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've added 2 already. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm going to skip only 2 this time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the same one, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the same one again, 11. Okay, and this is how I'm adjusting mine to arrive perfectly with the 11 here. Okay. Okay, so on my last one here, remember we started with 3. So I've added 2 times 2 singles. Now I have my 11 singles and my 26 loops of 4 chain. This is what's really important, is having those even numbers of chain. Okay, so now on to row 25. We're almost there. We're at the edging of the rug. Okay, everyone, on to row 25. So I've closed in with slip stitch. I'm going to do 1 chain, I have that thread pulling. One chain. I'm going to come back in and do a single, okay? We are not going to be working on the first 2 singles nor the last 2 singles. We are to have 7 singles in the middle here. So when I come back, I'll complete the rest. I'm going to do a triple inside of this 4 chain. We're going to do 9 triples. And now some of you, if your thread is like too much, it's too thick for it, depending upon if you're working with macrame. Instead of doing 9, I'm going to check mine too at this point. If I need to do only 7, because I don't want it to be too crowded either. Let's see how it goes. Oh, and I'm supposed to do triples, not double crochet. Okay, 2. Okay, I got all my threads stuck. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Like I said, if I find that it's too crowded, I'm only going to do 7. I don't want it to wave like an ocean. Let me see. So I skip 1, 2, coming into the third one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're also not working on this last one. I'm really thinking probably to do 7. I think this is too much. I think it will wave once I start putting the other ones in. But you can do the 9. It's called for the 9, okay? 2, 4, 6, 7. Skip the 2. Let's see how this works out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then again, triples. I'm going to do 7, but you can do 9, okay? Because this thread is too thick, that's why I'm doing the 7 now, but it's called for the 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip the first 2, going to the third single, my first single. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Remembering not to work on the first 2 nor the last 2, and then continue again. This is how we're going to work all the way around. Now, like I said, if you need to do a 9 triple, then go ahead, because your thread could be thinner than mine and it will need that to fill up that that space on that 4 chain or 5 chain you've done. Okay, it's because my thread is too thick, and so I don't want it to wave. And I'll meet you at the end of my row, and I'm probably going to come back in with the white for the next row. We're almost finished, and I think it just works perfect with the 7 without pulling or waving. Okay? Okay, everyone, so finished row 25, going into row 26. I'm going to use my white. We only have a couple more rows to go, and we're done. So I'm going to start off where I have my marker. Now, for those of you that did the 9, it's no different than what I'm doing now, okay? I'll explain to you as I'm going. So this time we're going to have 5 singles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So I'm going to go into the second one. I might have missed a single here, not sure. So single, single, 2, 3, 4. No, I didn't miss it because it's all tucked in on the last one there. 5, okay? Now, I'm going to see if I can hide this. Excuse me. We're going to do front post double crochet, okay? So front post double crochet. So we're going to come from behind to the front and into the back. One chain in between. You do the same thing if you've done the 9 triples, okay? So not front post, back post, double crochet. I don't know what I was thinking. One chain in between. So that means I should have my 7 double crochets, and for those of you that did 9, then you should have 9 double crochets, okay? Obviously, because this calls for a 9 and I made an adjustment with the 7, I will also have to make an adjustment for those singles, okay? One chain and my last double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to skip the first one, come on the second. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we skip the first one and we don't work on the last one, okay? And then again, just repeating those double crochets, back posts. And I've been so used to doing the triple that I keep rolling my thread twice, right? This is what you're going to do all the way around, okay? Like that. And then I'm cutting my thread again. No, actually, I'm not going to cut my thread on the next row. It's the last row that I'm going to cut my thread. We have 2 more rows after this, okay? Which the next one is just chain 3s into those loops for the people that did the 9. I'll be working on top of the double crochet because I don't have 9, but I'll see when I get there, okay? And explain to you how you're going to proceed if you did the 9 triples or the 9 double crochets. Because if I had done it, I would have like a big wave, and I didn't want that. I wanted this to be nice and straight, flat, okay? So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everybody, going into row 27. I was thinking about coming in with the orange, but I'm not, because I want the focus to be on the orange on those flowers. So I'm going to come back in with the cream color. And I'm going to start on the one right after the marker. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a single and 2 chain. I'm coming in the next one, single, 2 chain. For a lot of use, you probably have to do a 3 chain. Like I said, my thread is thick. For those reasons, I'm doing only 2 chain, but you can do a 3 chain. It's called for 3, okay? So just coming in between those double crochets where we have that 1 chain space, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 loops of 2 or 3 chains. Skip the first one, going to the second with 3 singles. We don't work on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, with the, is it? Yeah, 3 singles. We don't work on the last one nor the first one. And then coming directly inside of that 1 chain space, single, chain 2 into the next one, or chain 3. I'm not doing chain 3 because my thread is too thick, or else I would have been doing chain 3. Single, 1, 2, single, 1, 2, single, 1, 2, single. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. A lot of you that have the 9 double crochet, you should have 7 loops. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the people that did the 9, you should have 7 loops on there. Skip a stitch into the next one. 1, 2, 3. Not working that last one over here. Go directly into that first space. And this is how we're going to proceed all the way around. I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so going to my last row, row 28, and we're pretty much done with this rug. And if you created a table runner, and I'm telling you, it's absolutely stunning. So I've closed in with slip stitch. I'm going to come in this first space of 2 chains, single and 3 chain. I'm going to see if it's not too much. I hope not. Into the next one. Single, 1, 2, 3. Now, of course, I could have used the orange, but I want my focal point to be on those flowers. Okay, so now I'm on to the third one, the middle one, which I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. And I'm going to come back in with a single on that same chain. Okay, now I'm going into the next one, single, 1, 2, 3, and peacock into my last one, 1, 2, 3, and peacock. I'm going to skip that first single and come on the middle one. We have 3 singles there, and single. I'm going to come directly again into my first 3 chain. I almost knocked my camera. Oh my goodness. Put this a little bit like that. Okay. So you'll have 2 in one side and 2 in the other. Now, if we don't want this to be too different, just give me a second here, because sometimes I have to go through the stuff here to make sure that it's properly the way it's supposed to be, or that I like. So single. I'm going to do another single here. I think it's probably going to be best so it doesn't look awkward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes you just got to go back to it and then come back in again with the single. So this way we have a single on one side, single on the other. Come on the next one, single, chain 3. It's all about trying different things, people, and then you see what is best for you or how do you like it. 1, 2, 3, single. Now I'm going to come on that middle single that we have the 3 singles. No, I don't like that either, so I'm just going to come back to that same one like that, so we can have it looking more normal this way. And then going to the middle one with single. Again, going into that first 2 chain or 3 chain loop, single. 1, 2, 3. Single into the next loop. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you have, if you've done the 9 double crochets, then you should have 3 on each side, 3 picots on each side, okay? Going into that middle one, single, single again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. And doing that picot, and then coming back in again, single. Into the next one, single, 1, 2, 3. Single into the last one, single, 1, 2, 3, single, and back in again. So it looks normal, the same on both sides. And then into the middle of the 3 singles, single, and then into that first loop again. 1, 2, 3. Single. Into the next one. Single, 3 chain, picot. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. One more single in the center, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me know what you think about it. Take your time with it. Be patient with it. Go back. Look at the video and always watch ahead, of course. And turn your closed caption if you need to read and take notes. And slow down the video. In the description box, there is a 2-minute video on teaching you how to slow down the video. Okay, for people that don't know. And then come back in on that last one with a single. Okay, so I'm going to leave the measurements in the description box of this rug. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you, and I will see you in the next tutorial. And stay safe. Please subscribe if you haven't. Give a thumbs up on the video. And sharing is caring. And thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye.